Self-worth is really important. The way you see yourself will usually determine how people treat you. It's very easy not to pay attention to the way you are seeing yourself or the way you perceive yourself if you're not living intentionally. Another thing is that your upbringing, your environment, the people you surround yourself with, what you listen to, who you associate with, can play a major factor even in how you perceive yourself. If you watch till the end of this video, you're gonna learn a few tips on how to build your self-worth and how to be more confident in yourself. Make sure you stick and stay. So this video is going to be very short but valuable. I'm just going to be going straight to the point, no beating around the bush. Yeah. The first way that you can build self-confidence is to deal with past trauma. This is something that most people ignore. Depending on your upbringing, if there was a situation where you were probably abused, if you were brought up in a poor background, poverty, if you were brought up in a household where you're constantly being compared to another person, your own self-image, your own interpretation of life, the way that you were brought up to understand life, if you were a victim of bullying, if you were a victim of any form of abuse, any form of mistreatment in your childhood, there's some trauma that you need to deal with, and most people ignore that, or most people don't think of that, and they just hide it or sweep it under the carpet and never revisit that trauma to deal with it or to heal completely from it. One way or the other, if you don't deal with your trauma, it comes back to haunt you in a way. It comes back to affect you, and it subtly affects the way you see yourself. So the first thing I would say you need to deal with in order to build self-worth, in order to be more confident, in order to have a better image of yourself, is to deal with your past trauma. You have to make time to deal with it. You have to make time to go through it, to feel it, to understand what happened to you and why it happened. And that leads me to my next point, which is to forgive yourself and make peace with yourself. Most of the things that you probably went through as a child, most of the traumatic events that happened in your life, you're most likely not at fault for them. Even if you were at fault for them, you need to forgive yourself and you need to move on from those events. Self-forgiveness is really, really important. You have to make peace with yourself that this thing happened to me, but at that time, I didn't know better. You need to forgive yourself, and you also need to forgive other people, those who took part in whatever happened to you. You need to forgive if it was your parents, if it was a neighbor, if it was a family member, whoever it was, if it was a schoolmate, a classmate that bullied you, that victimized you in any way, that mistreated you. You need to be able to forgive those people. You need to be able to forgive those people and make peace. In doing that, leading to my third point, which is so important, you cannot do all of this. You cannot forgive yourself. You cannot deal with trauma. You cannot heal from trauma if you don't embrace the love of God. The love of God is the one thing that causes us to be able to forgive, that causes us to be able to see others in a good light in order to be able to forgive them. And that's because even in our mess, God still loves us. Even in our mess, God still forgives us. And to having or understanding the love of God is the key to be able to forgive others, to be able to heal from trauma. We have to embrace the love of God. We have to know Jesus, and we have to know who we are, that we are children of God, that we are loved by God, that we are cherished, that we are valued by God, that He made us in His image. That understanding or that knowledge of who God has made us and who we are is what is going to cause us to have better images of ourselves. I would recommend, if you don't understand why it's important to know Jesus, why it's important to know the love of God, I'll recommend you to watch day 2 of this series, and I'm sure that it will be a blessing to you. So moving on, another thing that you need to do in order to build your self-worth is to know your insecurities and your flaws. For me, this has really helped because if you know your flaws, if you know your own insecurity, the things that you are insecure about or the things that you have flaws about. For example, let me just use this example. I know I have really big eyes. So like nobody can come and tell me anything. Like you can't come and tell me that I already know. So knowing your insecurities and your flaws helps you to be more self-aware. In knowing them, I'm not saying that you should be aware of them just for the fun of it, no, but know them and know that it's part of what makes you you. It's part of your imperfect perfection. You are perfect the way God made you, but you're also imperfect in a way. There's always that one thing that's like, I wish this was this way, or I wish this was better. And that's what makes us human. You actually need that imperfection to be human. So knowing your insecurity is what's going to help you to be more aware and to kind of build a shield around people who try to use that against you. My next point is to know your strength and strengthen them. Right? So in the same way that you know your insecurity, you know your flaws, make sure that you know your strengths, know what you're good at, know the things that you're strong in, know the things that you can do really well. Practice makes man perfect, right? So practice, get better at them, get really good at what you're good at. That's the way that you build your self-image. That's the way that you build more value in yourself. As you get better at the things that you're good at, you have a redefinition of yourself. Aside knowing your strengths, another thing you can do is to learn new skills, upgrade yourself, like build on your natural giftings. Make sure that you're learning constantly. Another really important way to build your self-image is to learn how to communicate. Communication is a basic human function, and we all need to learn how to communicate. That's something that even if you don't learn anything in this world, even if you're not in school, like you should still learn how to communicate, because you're going to need it either ways, either for life or for business or for whatever thing that you find yourself in. You're going to need to communicate to people. It should be part of your agenda to constantly learn how to communicate with people based on the setting that you find yourself in. Learn how to communicate. If you have to take a course for it, if you have to pay for it, learn how to communicate. And these days there's always resources available, free resources available, even here on YouTube, that you can learn. Growing up, one of the things that I've learned, or the things that have helped me to improve my image of myself, to improve how much value I see in myself, is to not be silent. It is in your expression that your uniqueness is felt. It is in you expressing yourself that your uniqueness is felt. So don't be silent. There are things that you care about. You would need to talk about it. Like if you're passionate about the gospel, for instance, don't be silent. Use whatever means you can to share it, whether you're going to share it with your friends, your family, you're going to be more open or be more outspoken in church, you're going to talk about it. You can use social media, which is free, which is very, very convenient to use. Express yourself. The more you express your uniqueness, the more you kill comparison, because you are no longer thinking about what another person is doing, but you're expressing yourself and you are building confidence in how you feel about a matter or how you understand a situation. Very practical things that you should be doing is to reflect on the things that you've achieved, reflect on the things that you're grateful for every day, every single day. Think about life. Be very, very intentional about what you think about, what you reflect on. Think about the good things that have happened to you in a day, even the bad things that have happened to you. Make plans to resolve them. Make plans to make yourself better. Like, that's what it's all about. Being able to put in that effort to become better every single day. Another practical thing, make sure that you're affirming who you are. You're speaking positively over your life. I love to read scripture that reassures me of who I am in Christ. So many scriptures that will positively affirm who you are. So make sure that you are speaking these boldly unto yourself. There's power in the tongue, and whatever you speak over your life really comes to pass. There's more power in you declaring something over your life than even another person declaring it over your life. So make sure that you're always speaking positively about yourself and to yourself. what you hear or the words that you speak creates the atmosphere that you live in. So you should make sure that you're always surrounding yourself with positive words, positive things. Finally, like I've said repeatedly, make sure that you are in an environment that you feel valued. So the people who are around you should be people who make you feel valued, people who see the worth in you. If you notice that there are people who always try to bring you down, always try to discourage you, those are not the circle of people you should be surrounding yourself with. You should be surrounding yourself with people who push you forward, who are concerned about your well-being, who are concerned about your progress, who want to see you succeed, who want to see you happy, who want to see you at the top. So make sure that you're surrounding yourself with the right people. You are creating the right atmosphere with your words. Even with the words you hear from these people, you are being valuable. The key is in being. You're being valuable by being intentional. Today's video is really short. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found some value in it. This is day 11 of the 30 Days to Intentional Living series. If you haven't watched any of our videos, if today's your first time of watching a video from this channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you dropped by. I hope you found value in this video. Make sure that you leave a thumbs up and subscribe. You can also share this video with somebody. I'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.